So of course, as I said to create one video, something else came up. So we're gonna do something on that. I want and need a controller for OBS, which is the open source broadcasting tool that everyone uses to create these lovely YouTube videos. One thing I need to do is I'm going to go ahead and go over into my content production system, and we're going to create a agent that's going to control OBS, the scenes, creating all the moves, the transitions, any changes that I need done. It's going to do all that. We're going to go ahead and do that in our Claude Code system. So the way that we're going to do this always is we're going to use our terminal Claude Code. So I'm going to go into it with my shortcut CC, which brings me over into Claude Code dangerously. If you look down here, we're on Sonnet. That's a fine enough model, but we have Fable for a few more days. So why don't we go ahead and use that? So let's change the model up and let's change it to Fable. Cool. So in here, we're going to prompt this, and I need to create a new skill. And the skill is going to be used within the content production system to manage OBS. This is a good place for that skill because it's all about content, and I think that all skills and agents should be unique to that repo or that project. I'd like to create a new skill which helps me to manage OBS by all design and all the moves and transitions that go into that. And it's a skill that is an OBS expert. Do me a favor, go ahead and see what is currently on my OBS system by giving yourself a few agents and a tour of what's on OBS. And in particular, pay attention to the papercraft versions that we have. So that's in there, a small prompt. I set in this for it to spin up as many agents as it needs to. It's Fable, it's gonna be a little expensive, but it also does pretty good at finding the best in there. So what we're gonna do is go and press go. So we see after a little bit, we have the background agents have been sent out. It sent out something to tour what's on OBS now, and to also take a look at what assets we have currently. And it's gonna let that background agent finish. Cool, okay, both agents have finished and it's now streaming back out to me. Your proposal on how to approach the skill. Let's go ahead and execute on that and scope as you go. Doesn't need to be perfect, it needs to get the gist of what you need, especially with Fable. Getting done with the writing, and I am a fan of reading what Claude Code has done, especially when it comes to skills you're going to be using over and over again. We'll read this later on after it's done, but I'm also of the opinion that I would rather look at code that is working than look at reading bad code. One other thing I want to point out is if you look down here, you'll see that we've used about 92% or so of our available context. And since this is on the Fable default, that's about 1 million tokens, which you have total, which means that this is coming around 100,000 tokens to get to this place. So it's worth noting when Fable is no longer given with the usage, because that is going to be expensive later. Okay, so our OBS skill has returned and registered, and let's see what it's done. So it's created the skill itself, has a few references for itself to refer to, and it looks like it's in the skills list in the Claude.md for this project, which is all good and standard. With doing all this, it doesn't need to be perfect, but you do need to get all the stuff out of your head as quickly as possible, which is why I'm speaking into Claude Code here through the terminal, because there's no space in between you and the agent. So when we go ahead and continue with this work, it looks like it's already done. I do want us to do an example. So this is what I'm using for ending of my videos. This is all through OBS here. And you'll notice that it says youtube.com/@Joshia, one word. My channel is JA-SHIA. So I'm gonna need to change that. It's a very quick one, but it is something worth doing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head on over into our trusty Claude Code, and we're gonna tell it that directly. So using the new OBS skill, it's already loaded. We're gonna go ahead and tell it One thing I noticed on one of the cards is that the YouTube channel is misnamed. Here's the actual link for my YouTube channel. Here, let's paste that in. And you can kind of tell it exactly which one that you're looking at. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and press go there. This is over in the Josiah Studio scene, but you should check all the other scenes to make sure that this is consistent. This is, says youtube.com/Josiah. This is on one of the outros. I think it's this one. Yep. So this is in a PNG file. So we're gonna see if Fable can go and find that. A lot of this is trial and error and trusting that if it makes mistakes, it's all good because it's AI and you can continue to go because software is cheap now. So let's continue to wait for that. So it says it fixed the channel handle. Looks like it's done everywhere. There's a summary. And then, yeah, it's gonna say that it's done, but we're gonna have to double check this. So let's take a look at what we have live. And yeah, now it is finished and you see that live here. So that was a quick one. You want to, whenever you're working with something that you're gonna work on many times, you want to try and create a skill for that. So this is an example of doing that and hope you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments if you have anything. And since we have our handy outro with the correct place where to know to at me, subscribe. And if you're interested, continue to watch the next video that way.